Hi, everybody. Today we're talking about video marketing and how to use it to elevate your brand. So, you may have realized that a lot of my content, if you go through it, is talking about content marketing. And that's because it just is one of the things that I find most interesting about marketing. I have also found that it is one of the most powerful ways to convey messages for any company that is trying to get their word out, to educate their audience, to just talk about the stories that are behind its brand. So, I focus a lot on content marketing. I think it is the crux of a lot of initiatives that we put out there. And without it, it would just be super boring and a bunch of ads, right? So you have to have some story behind all the things that you're putting out. And that's where content marketing comes into play. Video marketing specifically is such a fantastic tool that we can use across all channels to educate in a different way. And the reason I think that video marketing is so powerful is that it's easier to consume the content. I think nowadays, too, people are much more apt to want to watch videos. It's not to say that, the written medium is going away by any means. There's plenty of people who love to consume content in that way. But with video marketing, we're looking at videos all the time. Streaming services are at their peak right now. They're probably going to continue to grow. We are on social media a lot and consuming content in that way. There's so many YouTube followers, so people obviously consuming content there as well. It's just another mechanism that you can package up your content. So traditionally, it used to be just written. Like we would just look at written stuff. We may look at some static images. But with the advent of being able to do video and internet being what it is, and we can stream these, highly complex and large files over the web, it's just something that we should all be adapting into our content marketing strategy. So, the first thing that I would say if you are embarking on a marketing strategy to incorporate video is to look at your leadership and ask them to do talking head videos. Those are very easy to put together. You can do this very easily with a lot of the assets that are out there in terms of having like a light that lights up their face, and you don't have to invest hundreds of dollars like you may have several years ago. You can also use either just your smartphone camera. That's perfectly doable. If you have a Mac, the camera is perfectly serviceable on that. And you want to come up with a nice background or something that's not distracting to people. I know I have a lot going on in the background, but we're a sports family here, and we just love it, and I also really love my dog. So anyway, you want to have these pieces out there, or they put these pieces together so that you can start putting content. And the talking head videos are great because you don't need a lot of things going on in order to record these messages. So the leadership you should have different members of the leadership team talking about different aspects of their business. For the CEO, it should be talking about what your vision is going forward. If you're talking about the product leader, they should be talking about what you expect roadmap wise with the product. If you're talking about the CTO, have them dive a little bit deeper into the technology. Not too deep. You want to keep these more surface level so that people don't glaze over or don't understand what's being talked about. But it's such an easy way to get that type of content going. It doesn't cost a lot. You can edit it in different tools. There's just so many tools out there now that can help you put these together that you should be taking advantage of them. The other thing is that when you're putting these videos together, especially like the talking head videos, you do want to be prepared for what your talking points are that you want to address. So it can be, top 3 things that you want to go into. You can make the video all sorts of different types of length. You can chop things out if it gets too long, but you want to have the talking points prepared and top level talking points, but don't prepare a script. That is the key to putting a lot of this together. I know there's a lot of people, especially that if they're not used to talking off the cuff, that they like to prepare a script because it makes them feel more comfortable. but it takes away a little bit from the authenticity of the video. And people can tell when you're reading a screen. Like if I was just reading something off a teleprompter, you'd be able to see that, right? My eyes are tracking it. It doesn't look as authentic. It's easy to spot. So you want someone who is just going to talk very casually and cover all the points that they need to. You don't have to be 100% perfect. You can always edit later, but just make sure that you're being authentic and that you're not overly scripting what you're trying to say. In these stories, you also want to highlight the journey of the company, especially if you're a startup. Where did you start? What problem did you see out in the market? How is your technology or your solution solving for that? So it's a great story to highlight, and you can put it in several different places, especially like the About Us section on a website. Most of the ones that I take a look at, they're dry. They have maybe some pictures and some text, but seldom do they have someone telling the story of the company and what they're trying to accomplish. That adds a little bit more lively content to digest on websites. In terms of production technique, there's a lot of different ways that you can go about this. Again, I went over some of the tools that you could use. You could also look at renting a camera, or you could just go hire someone, a videographer, to come in and spend a couple of hours with your team recording different pieces of content. You can tell them what you want cut out. They can send you the written script, the transcript of the video. You can say, I don't want this piece, I don't want that piece, move this over here. Like there's just lots of different ways to edit this. That's also if you have additional funds, because they do often cost at least a couple of $1,000s to have someone come in and do that in your office. So that's one way of doing it. And in addition to the talking heads, the leadership that you want talking about your solution, you should also bring in your product people, the people that can go a little bit deeper with your product. Obviously, your CEO, CTO, CPO, they should all be able to talk very much in depth about what the product is, but also get from your team, like the engineers or someone who's on the product team, someone who is a little bit deeper into the product on a day-to-day basis, and have them cover, what are some of the features and benefits. Don't get too heavy into features, because features are just things a product does, which is cool. I mean, that's what a product is, but you want to talk more about the benefits. Why are people going to benefit from using your solution? How are you improving their lives with this product? That's what you want to get into. The features are something that you're likely going to list on your website, so leave them there. People can digest them later. It's the benefits that are going to have the biggest traction. And finally, you also want to showcase demos with these individuals, with the product teams. Show people how your product works. That's always something that's very engaging. You can use Loom, for instance. It's a great way to capture what's going on in the screen. You can put a picture in your image as you're talking through the demo in the bottom corner, or leave that out, but it just allows you to record what's going on the screen and then share it with your audience so that they can see how you're navigating through it and how it works, because this is often what people want to see. Showing them how it works in a video that's on your website is a great way to help people self-qualify themselves, because otherwise they're going to take some of your manpower in getting a demo live later on. That's a great opportunity to have a conversation with the audience. But if you offer snippets of what it does overall, what the solution does, then it allows them to say, oh wow, yeah, that captures my attention, this looks like it's right for me, and then they can go on to the second conversation. The last thing that you want to do with video marketing, there's lots of stuff that you can do, but one of the ones that I suggest is, once you have a customer story and you're able to tell a customer story, do that with a video. It's easy to put these together, whether with a third party or just using iMovie, for instance. You can put things, cut things together. You can put text in there. You can do a talking head with one of your customers and put them on the screen. So there's lots of different ways that you can go about delivering what the customer story is, but customer stories are hugely engaging. People love those because they can see themselves using the product, and it adds a third-party vetting type of communication. It is them providing a testimonial on your behalf, and people love that. It's a form of storytelling. So that's what I have on video marketing. If you do have any questions, let me know at rosa@rosalear.com or comment on this post and I will engage with you. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye-bye.